Hi there, Cassandra Bache, fertility coach here. And I want to tell you about a dentist actually today. Might seem odd. A doctor named Dr. Weston A. Price traveled around the world looking at indigenous cultures, indigenous peoples in the 30s. And his research was around looking at their teeth, because he found that they had these perfect teeth. They were straight, they weren't crowded, so they didn't need orthodontic work. They didn't have any cavities, or because they didn't use dentists, and nor did they brush their teeth. They had perfect teeth, and he wanted to figure out why. So over time, what happened to these people is that their teeth started to crowd and deteriorate, just like the rest of the world, and he wanted to figure out what the reason for that was. Everyone assumed that it was because of sugar, but he wasn't so sure. So he looked into it further, and what he determined was that it was the change in diet, absolutely, but not the introduction of sugar. It was the reduction of protein. So these people were hunter-gatherers, so that when they got an animal, they didn't have refrigeration. So they ate the whole animal. So they had an enormous amount of protein in their diet. And then they would have periods where they didn't have as much protein, but they overall had a lot of protein. And what he concluded was that the protein, which I have a biology background, so I'm always intrigued by this information. The protein is actually the building blocks, which are amino acids. They make up proteins, and that's what you build a baby out of. So, or in this case, with the teeth, he claims that you can actually heal your teeth. So, but we're not worried about that today. So what I want to talk to you about is the building blocks, so eating protein. And he decided to, what he observed was that women over successive babies in Western society, the faces of the children get narrower. And he claims that it's because they didn't replenish the protein reserves in their body in between children. So they didn't have enough protein, enough amino acids to build the next baby to the same size. And so you end up with crowded teeth and the need for orthodontics and possibly tooth decay. So he replicated his observation in cats. And what he found was that after, I think it was 4 or 5 generations of cats, which this was happening, the face was getting narrower, they could no longer reproduce. Pretty important findings, I would say. So what he's done is he's developed a diet for pregnant and nursing mothers, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. So this is the diet for conception and pregnancy and nursing. I'm going to tell you about ways you can move towards a more natural diet, because processed foods interfere with both you and your partner's reproductive systems, making you less likely to conceive. Do your best to buy whole foods. And in this case, it's important to eat organic food, as you need your body to be free of the chemicals and pesticides and the hormones given to traditionally raised cattle, as they can interfere with your own hormones. And of course, a few obvious things to avoid are cigarettes, alcohol, and drugs. And that includes prescription drugs. If you're currently taking prescription drugs, you should see your doctor and tell them you're planning to get pregnant, and make sure that any prescription drugs you are on are safe for both you and the baby. A few more things to avoid are trans fatty acids, basically hydrogenated oils, commercial fried foods, and junk food. A big one that I want you to cut out is sugar, and anything containing sugar. That also includes white flour and white rice, as they quickly convert into sugar in the body. And definitely avoid soda. It may seem easy, but have a look at the back of the packages of food you're buying, and you will be shocked at how much sugar is in them. It's not just the obvious foods either, like cakes and cookies. Plenty of savory food has added sugar to make them taste more appealing, because we are eating so much processed food nowadays that our taste buds expect it. Are you drinking coffee? It's almost become the modern accessory, hasn't it? As people travel to work, nursing their cup of coffee. But if you'd rather be nursing a baby, switch to drinking more water or try fruit or herbal tea. Many of the herbal teas will also prepare your body for pregnancy. Raspberry leaf tea, turmeric tea, dong quai, and lemon tea are known to be good for rebalancing your hormones and preparing your body for conception. The next one is non-fermented soy. Yes, soy. You thought it was a health food, didn't you? Well, I did too, until I started checking out the research. The Japanese, known for their longevity and healthy diets, actually eat fermented forms of soy, such as tempeh, miso, and natto, which are healthy. But tofu, soy proteins, soybeans, and other unfermented soy is not. And it is particularly bad if you want to get pregnant, because it contains phytoestrogens, which mimic and block your own estrogen, leading to infertility. Also, products made from soy contain aluminum. Yes, really aluminum from the processing system. And this toxin gets into your nervous system and reduces fertility. Watch out, soy is in numerous products, so check the ingredients label. Okay, so I've been talking about what you can't have. Now I'm going to talk about what you can and should have to improve your chances of conception and once you're pregnant. We'll give you all the building blocks to grow your baby. Firstly, eat more eggs, ideally from pasture-raised hens, because they are rich in fatty acids, vitamins A and E, plus choline, which is essential for promoting tooth and brain development pre-conception. The Weston A. Price diet suggests eating 2 or more per day. They are so versatile. You can eat them in so many ways and with so many different other foods at any time of the day. Additionally, eat extra egg yolks daily. Add them to smoothies, salad dressings, scrambled eggs. I like to make hollandaise sauce and have eggs Benedict every morning. The second food to eat more of is roe, ideally salmon roe. Weston A. Price found that fish roe was eaten by women of childbearing age in the Arctic to ensure healthy babies. And when further research was done, this food even restored fertility in previously infertile mice. It's rich in omega-3s, and men need this for healthy sperm. Eat this as tara salata or salmon roe. Or if fish eggs aren't your thing, you can eat cod liver oil to supply 20,000 IUs of vitamin A and 2,000 IUs of vitamin D per day, which is provided by 2 teaspoons of high vitamin cod liver oil. You can also eat more seafood. Shellfish are full of vitamins B12 and D, and the vitamins are important in boosting fertility in women. They also contain zinc, which improves male fertility and has been found to reduce the chances of suffering from postnatal depression. The Weston A. Price diet suggests eating shellfish 2 to 4 times a week. I'll just touch on all the other recommendations of the Weston A. Price diet for pregnant and nursing mothers. Drink a quart or a liter if you're in Canada or the UK of whole milk daily, preferably raw and from pasture-fed cows. But if that's not available, at least buy organic milk. If you're dairy sensitive, try goat milk. You might not have the same sensitivity to it. You'll love this one, at least I do. 4 tablespoons of butter daily, preferably from pasture-fed cows. This is a tricky one. 3 to 4 ounces of fresh liver, once or twice per week. I struggled with this one, but reminded myself it was for a good cause, building my healthy baby. Be sure to eat fresh, organic, pasture-raised beef or lamb daily. Always consumed with the fat. And if you can get the fat crispy, it's easier to swallow. Eat 2 tablespoons of coconut oil daily. You can use it in cooking or smoothies, or check out turmeric tea with coconut milk and coconut oil. It's delicious. Lacto-fermented foods, so condiments and beverages. These fermented foods add probiotics to your digestive system to ensure a healthy gut. Try kombucha or homemade ginger ale or kimchi, and you can very easily make your own sauerkraut, which is delicious. Bone broths. They're used in soups or stews and sauces, or you can just drink it on its own with a little Himalayan salt for remineralization. It's delicious and it's so nutritious. Also, add soaked whole grains to your diet and fresh vegetables and fruit. So now, I know this is a lot. Try tackling one item every day or every week, and in no time, you'll be surprised to discover you're following the diet. Now you have all the information here that you need to improve your diet and your chances of conception and grow a healthy baby without totally depleting mama's body in the process. You can save that for sleep deprivation once the baby arrives. And don't forget to follow this diet as long as you are nursing. Remember, this baby is going to get everything it needs, regardless of the fact that it may mean it's stealing from mama. Hope this helps. Enjoy the diet. And one thing I'll mention, I increased my fat intake following this diet, and it didn't impact my weight one bit. Cool, right? You can get more information just by Googling the Weston A. Price diet for pregnant and nursing mothers. Okay, thanks so much. Till next time. Bye-bye.